The non-governmental organization Rape Crisis is marking a victory for survivors of sexual abuse. The Khayelitsha Magistrate's Court is now fully designated to handle sexual crime cases. The move comes after years of demands for better support of abused and raped women. To unpack how this court is accommodating to them, I'm now joined by Jeanne Bodenstein, who is advocacy specialist for Rape Crisis. A bit of credit there to the reporting of the ground-up activists and writers there, credit where it's due. Jeanne, thank you for your time. I had an opportunity to look at the pictures of these innovations and what has been done to improve that sexual offences court in Khayelitsha. To the non-discerning eye, it looks like a mobile structure that has been set up. There's video link, etc. It doesn't tell the full story, but you know what the full story is and why this is so important. What has been done there? Why is it important?
Yeah, so the community of Khayelitsha has for years demanded a sexual offences court to be set up in Khayelitsha that will have specialist infrastructure, services and personnel. And there was an issue with the infrastructure that couldn't accommodate the required rooms and special restrooms, etc., to make it possible for survivors to be in a safe space. And after many years, the Department of Justice has set up a mobile unit to house these services. So, for instance, a court supporter, a waiting room, a safe restroom that isn't open for use by the public. And this will really go a long way to support people who have to come and testify, so that they don't have to run into the accused person down the hallway, which obviously is very unsettling in a criminal justice system that's already very difficult to navigate.
So I take it that this was the situation. I mean, I was seeing some of that reporting that I allude to from ground up from about a year ago already. That's about 2 years ago, to be exact. That was suggesting that there wasn't these facilities that we're talking about were not there, with the result that sometimes, victims of abuse and rape would have the potential to bump into the accused person in the corridors there at court.
Yeah, so I mean, that is something that is very detrimental, not only to the mental health of the victim, but also to the state's case, because often that means that the survivor isn't in a state to testify after that. So the criminal justice system really has to be geared up to provide support to survivors, from post-rape care services, medical services, forensic services, and psychosocial support, to actually providing a safe and supportive court system, like the one set up in Khayelitsha, to make it possible for survivors to tell their story and to testify in the hope of getting justice.
I see that this is a small step, particularly in that corner of the country in Khayelitsha, with its own unique challenges that it faces. But I doubt, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, I doubt it's a giant leap in terms of the broader fight against gender-based violence. I don't imagine that this would be the situation across all the sexual offences sites of reporting and sites of justice. You'll correct me, of course, if I am wrong.
Yeah, so the Section 55A of the Sexual Offences Act, as well as the regulations for sexual offences courts, came into operation in the beginning of last year, and they really set up the minimum standards that sexual offences courts have to comply with. So if you go to a designated sexual offences court, you can expect to receive support. You can expect to wait in a safe waiting room. You can expect not to run into the accused in a hallway. You can expect a private bathroom. So I would really want to encourage people that if you don't get this at a sexual offences court, to complain to the court manager, to let the DOJ in your area know, because we really need to hold government accountable. We are extremely excited that the idea of a mobile unit to house services could be utilized in other provinces as well, where there are space issues. So we are excited about that. But it really is about providing support to survivors from the get-go. And for that, we do need the whole criminal justice system to cooperate.
Yeah, an important step taken by the Justice Department and government, and let's give credit is where it's due. But of course, Jeanne, you and I know that at the end of the day, we wouldn't be sitting in this situation if we as men in this society didn't rape women, right?
Yeah, I mean, we see a lot of messages about what women should do, what women shouldn't do. But the end is that that by far the most rapes occur with male perpetrators. And we really have to ensure that perpetrators are brought to account.
Yeah.
Also to act as a deterrent for other rapes and crime. And that can only happen if the criminal justice system holds them accountable.
Jeanne Bodenstein, who is advocacy specialist for Rape Crisis, thank you for your insights here on All Angles. And she's correct, of course, in terms of the technical definition of the crime of rape in this country. It can be perpetrated by anyone, not just men. But of course, the reality, as she points out as well, in most instances, it is men that perpetrate rape.